for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
What up? What up? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. This is the Road and Toe Show, episode 29. Special guest, official misconduct. Co-host for tonight, American Justice of Texas, Heather Holt, and my main man, my host, Road Dogs Media. What's up,
What's
y'all?
up, everyone?
Hey.
Hey guys.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Nervous for me.
Nervous? Oh, we got you. Just remember,
Don't be
we got
nervous.
you. Don't worry about it.
I know.
Welcome everybody in the chats. Hammer Time, Car Thief, Denver Metro, welcome in DMA, Howell County Internet News, aka Laptop, DJ K Dot in the house. What's up, DJ K Dot? M Star, I see you, sweetheart. Who else we got? Am I missing anybody?
Utah Cop Watch.
South Alabama, Snark and Sass, welcome in, y'all. For public safety, welcome in, sir. So we got a good show. Anybody that watched the show Monday night, we had part 2 of For Public Safety. If you don't know, official misconduct is For Public Safety's girlfriend. His story was brought on two nights because he talks a lot, and so this time we kicked his ass out and we brought official misconduct up so she could bring her side of the story to the light, and so that's what we're gonna do. But while I'm on that, we do have a sponsorship, so we got a word from our sponsors that we got to run real quick. So Road Dog, pull up that roll for our sponsor right there. That word from our sponsors.
Laptop Audit Case. Get yours today. Guaranteed to last through any police encounter you incur. Just watch this guy. There he is, holding it up. There it goes. It's getting flung all over the place. We got you covered. Here it is. Guaranteed to last through every police encounter and any court case you may
have. That's a special message from our sponsors, y'all. Get your rugged laptop cases now.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, he did receive his dash cam footage of the arrest. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're ready to laugh, watch it. I am going to be getting it up as soon as I can, but it's epic. I'm telling you, I am probably now Laptop's biggest fan.
Right on. Right on. And that's our and Howell County Internet News is part of the family. That's our guy, aka Laptop. So we just give him a little shit, but we love him. So y'all go check him out, sub to him, check his stuff out. He's been doing a little bit more here and there. But
and on a side note, out of his 3 charges, 2 of them got dropped. We found out yesterday.
10-4.
Good.
That's great. So on that note, let's get into it, because I mean we had 2 long shows. So let's see if we can't stay on track and keep this down to our 2-hour maximum. If we keep Chris off camera, I think we'll be okay. I think
I
we
don't
can
know.
get
We're
this
30
done.
minutes behind. So, you know.
Okay. Thanks, AJ. Thanks, AJ. Love you, AJ. Yeah. All right. So official misconduct. She's part of the story with public safety. So this is going to be her side and her parts of the story, and I'm going to let the girls take over the reins on this one. Me and Road Dog are going to sit back and chill, and we're going to let the girls run this interview, so that way Miss Official Misconduct there feels more comfortable. So let me shut the fuck up. And AJ
That'll
Heather,
be a first.
yeah, whatever, Dick. AJ Heather, there you guys go. It's on you guys. I'll be here.
All right. So
Okay, well, let's go back
Introduce
to the
you.
beginning of your side of it and introduce yourself to everybody who has not seen you yet.
well, I'm official misconduct. And I want to go ahead and give everybody a heads up. I do not do speaking very well. Chris has always been the storyteller out of the two of us. So I will probably struggle a little bit, so bear with me. But we'll make it through this.
We will. Yes.
Well, he's there with you on the side, so he's got you. And AJ and I will walk you through it. It ain't our first rodeo. We got you, girl.
Yeah, he's the one that I keep looking over to.
Okay, that's good though.
So, what did you guys want to start with? I know that you guys have the appeal.
Well, we haven't heard a whole lot of your side and where it started from, as far as like where it started with CPS. You know,
Yeah.
what brought them into your life, because that's really where I'm learning that it really began.
Yeah.
So, you know, start with that situation, you know, and then, because from what I'm understanding, that's got a lot to do with the conclusion of this. So we
It
need
does.
to go from the beginning till we get to the, you know, the end with both of y'all.
Okay. Well, DCS really became involved the year prior in 2018. I was going through custody battles with both fathers, very terrible custody battles. And one of my exes was calling DCS constantly. I had at least 5 intentional false reports that were made just prior to my children's removal. So it wasn't something that was uncommon, and it was definitely something that was happening a lot. And if you know anything about DCS cases, you'll know that whenever they go in to conduct an investigation, that they look at your previous history with them, and it's called a limited history check. So what they'll do is they will run a history check, and it checks it through their system. It's not like a complete background check. So it brings up every previous case, every previous allegation. And those allegations ranged from me selling heroin and giving it to my boyfriend at the time's son, to sexually abusing him.
Oh,
And
Lord.
it was terrible. It was
So did they finally flag him for so many false reports coming through?
no, I had reached out to everyone, every caseworker that I'd had, which in total for that year was 9 separate DCS workers from that county. So that's probably almost all of them. And I had asked all of them for help to help me stop the false reporting. I had asked the supervisors, the regional manager. I had reached out to the prosecutor and 2 law enforcement officers as well. and no one at all.
And I'm not understanding how so many different caseworkers got involved. Were they just passing it around? Because, to my understanding, the same caseworker is supposed to be assigned the cases based on the social security number and the name.
Well, I think that's generally what they do try to stick with, but now they're going with, you know, having too much of a caseload per caseworker. So I
Well, if
think
they're
that's the reason
spreading
they're
them around
falling.
like that, I can see why.
I think that's the
So I'm
reason why
sorry,
they're
I was connecting my headphones. I missed the part about you said you got assigned different caseworkers. Is that what you said?
Yes. And I was just talking about how I think that, the reason that I was getting a different one on every false allegation that they received is because they talk about being, overloaded, that they don't have enough family case managers per hotline call that's coming in. So they can't, do what they're supposed to do.
See, that's all. I unfortunately am going through that stuff right now. And I recently had a second one open up on a different child, but they gave me the same caseworker. And for that reasoning that you're talking about, because they are so overloaded, which makes perfect sense to have it be the same caseworker, because why would you bring another caseworker into a home that is already being, you know what I mean?
Right.
It knows nothing about the history. Yeah.
Right. So that's crazy.
Well, DCS was in my home so much that they knew where everything was. They knew the kids' rooms. They knew where I had my food, laundry room. They knew every room in my house. And it had even gotten to the point, I was like, well, maybe next time you guys come, you can let me know a little bit in advance and, we'll have dinner. You guys are here so often. But that's whenever I still had, I had faith in our child services department. And I still felt like, they would always do the investigations properly and that everything would turn out the way that they were supposed to. And I felt that way all the way up until they took my children. And whenever they took them, I still had a little bit of hope that everything was going to go the way it's supposed to. And they would conduct the investigation and that, this would be seen as what it was, just like the rest of them, another false report. But that was not the case. Actually, I think that they did less of an investigation than they had started doing in 2018. I think it had just become so redundant, them coming to my home, that, they had just.
Okay, now I'm from what I've heard and where I've talked with you and things, we need to let people know that your ex-husband, or you've got two different baby daddy.
Yes.
But neither one of those is the one that CPS was brought in on. It was a boyfriend, correct?
On the very last one, and I would like to kind of clarify that for you because it can be a little bit confusing. So, my ex-husband had been the one that had made all of the previous intentional false calls. And the last ones that came through, which is the ones that they removed my children on, they got 3 reports. And from the text messages that I'd received, I know that my boyfriend, well, he wasn't my boyfriend at the time. I had already worked on telling him to move out and that we were separating because I didn't agree with the things that he was doing as far as a parent. He was letting his minor son drink, have sex in our home, skip school. I mean, it was epically terrible, the things that he was allowing to go on. So I told him, we're done doing this. I'm not tolerating it. This is my home. So, you don't see things on the same moral aspect as I do. So we're done. But whenever I told him that we're done, that's whenever he contacted my ex-husband, which they already knew each other because of the children. And they got on board to do another false report. And my ex had sent me a text and he said, you know, I'm going to help the fathers get custody of the kids. I was like, whoa, okay. And I had tried to show that to the caseworkers too on the case whenever they came to investigate. And no one would listen to anything that I had to show them. Nothing.
So the two of them got together out of retaliation for you kicking him out of the house, basically. Even though y'all technically weren't living together, he was there enough that you had to kick him out and make him take his stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So that's where we're at. Something happened to where you felt uncomfortable enough that they had to go, and that's where the retaliation came in, and we'll go forward from there because I know it's a hard story to tell.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I sometimes get off track and I trip over my words. But the reports that came in where my children were removed, that was in 2019. The reports that they received came in on October the 30th, and they came to see me. So when they came to my home, I had previously already had another false allegation that was investigated maybe a week and a half prior. So that's whenever I'd reached out to the regional manager, and I told him, I said, if we don't get these false reports taken care of, I am not going to allow you guys to conduct any more investigations in my home or in my children's lives. I'm tired of you taking them out of class, disturbing their education. I'm tired of you coming into our home and disrupting our lives. You guys have so much information that you don't need to keep doing this. You need to fix the problem on your end. So whenever they came in on the 30th, that's exactly what I did. I told them, we're not doing this. I already talked to the regional manager. We're not doing this. No more. So they ended up leaving. And then they came back on November the 1st. Whenever they came back on November the 1st, they told me that my children had already been removed from my custody. And they came with 2 state troopers and forced their way into my home. Just to tell me that, they had removed my children from me.
So wait a minute. They forced their way into your home to notify you that they had already taken custody.
Yes.
They couldn't do that from the front porch. They had to come into your home.
They came into my home. When they came into my home, it was 2 state troopers and 2 FCMs. It was FCM Smith and FCM Floyd. And
that's fucking crazy. I'm sorry. That just blows my mind. The kids weren't even there, and they had already been taken, and then they come in. Heck no.
Yeah. And I would like to go ahead and say that they removed my children without a court order, warrant. I mean, they had absolutely nothing. They were acting on nothing but hearsay and did not do an investigation prior to the removal of my children. But whenever
they'll do that and until you make a stand, until they know that what they can and can't do. That's what I found. Yeah. I mean, they did that to me for years. Yes.
You are very right. And, I took a stand way too late, and I didn't even know exactly how to take a stand.
Right.
I was just using the limited knowledge that I had about my rights. And that's, why I'm always advocating, learn your rights and not just what you think you know about them. Like, get in there and learn them. Because if you don't hold people accountable and be able to protect yourself with your rights, then you don't have anything whenever government entities come in to your home and into your private life.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's why we advocate for everybody to learn their rights, whether it's family, whether it's, constitutional, whether it's civil. Everybody needs to look into everybody jokes and says, back the blue until it happens to you. Well, the blue ain't just the police,
Right.
That's right.
any government entity. And they'll talk to you like they're your friend, and they're
Oh, yeah.
not. Everything you say, whether it's boo or I think or could be, they will twist that.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you said that because I want to kind of pick back up where I was at whenever I
Mhm.
was saying that, the two FCMs came in. Well, FCM Smith was with me, explaining everything and, telling me that I had to sign these papers. And I was ignorant enough to not know better. So, of course, under duress, I signed everything that she handed to me. And then I had another FCM Floyd, and he was standing in between my living room and my kitchen. And the whole time, the only thing that he would continue to do is to look into the kitchen and then look over at me and tell me that I was nothing but a liar and that, I needed to start telling the truth or just shut up, that they already knew the truth.
What the hell? When
Yeah.
they hadn't investigated any time beforehand. So where was he getting his stupid information?
I have no clue. The only people that he had talked to is, well, they definitely hadn't talked to me. They had talked to the report source, and they didn't conduct their investigation. But yeah, he was standing in my kitchen telling me that, I was a liar, and it was very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why. And every mother out there is cringing right now that, has an ex, that could do this. False reports, it happens every day.
It
And
does.
it's just a stepping stone to where you're at today. So let's go forward a little bit. I know that your ex testified in a pretrial.
I'm trying to remember. I think that it was a pretrial. It was
A pre-hearing thing, yeah.
yes. But what he had done is they give you the option, and it's for both parents of the child. It's called admitting chins. So if you feel that the other parent actually did commit, what the allegations are, then you go in and you sign paperwork and, you give your statement and agree with the courts and DCS that your child is in fact a child in need of services. So basically, whenever he did that and he signed his signature on there, that was already the only admission that they needed in the courtroom to go through with everything. And when I say go through with everything, that's all the way through my fact finding. And my fact finding is what that is it's a specific hearing where you can present your evidence to, to show your innocence, or you can admit guilt if you were actually guilty of it. But when he signed that paper, that was the only admission they needed. So once again, I was cut short on being able to tell my side of the story.
That's ridiculous.
I think that it's ridiculous that our court systems are set up so that they can completely silence the person that needs to be able to vocalize and show you their proof and show you that they're wrong. Because whenever you silence people and you're in the wrong, it's terrible, because I could have been reunited with my children like quickly, and they may have taken the appropriate avenues to handle the false reporting at that point. Instead, they just ignored everything that I was saying to them, like to the case managers, to my attorney at the time, even. Everyone ignored me, and they barreled right through it.
Well, in cases around here with people that I know, for something to go so far off track in something like this, somebody has to know somebody or done a favor for somebody somewhere along the way. So I'm assuming one of them had some favors called in.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know
I
how
don't know if I agree with that because no, I don't know. I mean, I can see what you're saying, maybe in some circumstances, but I think just the agency itself is they're overworked, so they don't even want to do their investigation properly. You know what I mean? And like she was saying, they will go based on, any past history and stuff. I mean, for
Yeah.
me anyway, that's exactly what they did. They came in, had a statement, said this is this, and then just because of the last years, um, forgetting the fact that I was in recovery, that didn't matter. Everything that I've changed about me didn't matter at that point. It was just like, you know what, you got a history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like once you're in the system, you don't get out unless you know your rights and how to maneuver the process of getting out and stopping it. And that's where I fell short, and I feel like that's where I let my kids down the most, is that even though I was fighting so hard to protect them through the previous custody battles and all the previous false allegations, at that point I didn't know my rights like I should have. So I wasn't able to protect my children to the fullest of my ability. And that is one thing that I'm never going to forgive myself for, because
Well, you need to, because 95%, 97% of the population don't know they need to educate themselves on that
I know.
until way too far. Because like you said, we depend on them because that's their job. They're educated, and we don't know any better. That's their job. Just like with a doctor, you trust your doctor. You're supposed to trust the CPS to look into it. So you didn't
Absolutely.
know any better. Don't be hard on yourself, hon.
I know. I try not to be, but it's just, it's when
hard.
you get to this point and you look back and you're like, I could have stopped all of this if I'd have just known then what I know now.
Mhm.
But I've gotten a lot better about beating myself up about that. And you are right, a lot of people, are not educated in their rights and what we're supposed to know, what we're supposed to learn, but we don't even know that we're supposed to do that. And a lot of us have so much faith in our government systems and entities, and just know in our hearts that they're always going to do what's right, that we think that we're safe with them, and sometimes we may be, but from what I've experienced personally, I never was, because look where I am right now. I don't have my children. They are in abusive homes, and I'm still fighting to get them back from 2019. And that is too long to go without your children. Wait.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of false trust, not intentionally false, but trust that shouldn't be there with our government agencies. But people don't know that.
Yeah, because they haven't seen it. It hasn't happened close to them. It hasn't happened to them.
Yeah.
And they think people make stuff up when they don't.
No,
And
you're right.
it's them that are making the stuff up. It's the agency that'll come in and just lie, just like a cop will. It's just crazy.
Well, that kind of reminds me. You know how you were talking about how they will take your words and twist them? I've always been an over-explainer. I explain things way too much.
Mhm.
And I would go in and try to explain things to them, especially whenever they took my children, because I had a lot to say.
Right.
But they took everything that I said and took it out of context and just completely twisted it around so that it fit what they needed.
were. Mhm.
And I even told my attorney about it at the time. I was like, we have to fix this. I was like, they took everything I said and just put it together the way they wanted to, the way that it suited them to be able to make it look like they had a reason to take my children. I was like, we have to fix this. And I even did my appeals because they give you papers where you can fill them out and tell your side of the story. And you turn this appeal into, I forget where I had to send it to. I know it was Indianapolis. But that's also supposed to be an opportunity for you to be able to appeal the decision. And I never even heard back from that. I don't even know what happened to that.
And no one called you, followed up, or anything?
No. Actually, in fact, I had to, one of our most recent ventures before we actually started, recording and publishing everything was making DCS reverse the allegations that they had, because they still had me in their system as having substantiated child abuse cases against me. Even though I had won my appeal and went through all of the steps to prove them wrong, they still had me in their system as a perpetrator of child abuse and neglect.
Which means they claimed it was a data entry clerical error, that no one had changed it in the system.
Yeah, they said that it must have just been something that was overlooked, because I had brought to their attention that their state attorney was sent a copy of the appeal and the reversal decision. And they said, well, I don't know what happened, but we'll go in and we'll fix those. And, we just did that not too long ago. So that was probably the end of 2021. So it had been sitting in there for almost 2 years like that. And I had no clue.
And when you went and checked on it, they didn't give you a timeline as far as when it would be fixed in the system?
They got it fixed relatively quickly. And this is what shows up on their limited history checks that you'll see on all of their reports that they do. Because it'll tell you that they've went through and done that limited history check. And these are what pops up and flags people. So there's just so many things that people need to be aware of whenever it comes to DCS and previous cases, is that if they have ever substantiated anything against you, you have to take the steps yourself to make sure that they fix it. Because if they don't, and you don't tell them, it's never going to get fixed, and it's always going to show a flag on you. And people don't know that. And and until we all start talking, communicating, and I know it's a really difficult thing to do, because I was ashamed. I didn't want to tell anybody my kids had been taken.
Well, and I'm being reminded in my ear over here that it was actually the wrong child that was attributed to you.
Yes, on one of the reports they had me listed as being the mother to as being basically the caregiver. They listed me as the caregiver to my ex's daughter, which is the one that came in and physically assaulted me. So they charged me with neglect of her child and of my ex's child, and they weren't even my children.
But they put you down as the caregiver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though both of their parents were there, and one of their parents actually both of their parents brought them into my home, I was the one that was listed as being responsible for them.
That's crazy. And I'm assuming that's the mistake on the paperwork that Chris was talking about the other day, that
yes,
the guy just didn't want to fix.
No, and he's still refusing to fix that. And we cannot get them to unsubstantiate that one either. They are refusing, they are fighting, they are not recognizing the appeal on that one. I don't know why they're so adamant about keeping that one in the system. And that's the one that's it is more messed up than the others. At least they had the parents and the children right in the other reports. They didn't have the allegations right, but they had the kids and the dads right. This one is even worse than that.
But you won that appeal on those two,
Yes.
and they're refusing to correct their own paperwork.
Yes.
Okay.
There is no wrapping your head around it. It's just, yeah, it's nuts.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And what kills me is I'm sitting here watching the chat, and we've got some fathers out there
Yes, that have
that are
gone through
going
the
through
same
this
thing.
exact same thing from vindictive mothers.
Hmm.
And they're seeing, and I just saw one pop through. I don't remember who it was. I apologize. I will go back and look later. Said they are listening and they are learning from you what they actually need to do in their own cases. So
I think that was .com, Heather, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought I saw his name float through with it, but I wasn't sure who. So, and that is why I say don't be hard on yourself, because what you've learned, you're on here teaching others, male, female. We have teenagers that watch, and I saw one person pop through that said that their 16-year-old was in foster care and wasn't told that had the ability to be emancipated at 16 from the foster care system.
Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah, so what y'all are doing is very, very helpful. I mean, AJ's going through it. That's someone that you've talked to. I mean, my
Yes.
son just got custody. This is across the board that
Yeah,
people need to learn.
you're
So
right. And
I hate that you've gone through it. I absolutely, it's appalling. It's abhorrent, but you're teaching others.
and that right there is my goal, is to spread as much awareness as I can, and to tell people about, the steps and the processes that I've had to take in order to just get where we are here. Because I'm hoping maybe if someone finds themselves in the situation that I'm in and they come across, any of this information that I'm putting out there, then maybe it won't take them, so many years to get to this point. Maybe they can just go in there and, do it and get it out of the way. Because we've went down the wrong avenues, we've went down the right ones, we've went up against brick walls, and we're slowly busting down those brick walls, but it's not easy.
Well,
I just
now,
want to say thank you. I haven't been able to talk about it myself either. So, I you're my hero, to be honest, at the moment. So you kick ass, you rock. Thanks for giving me the courage to speak on my situation as well. So, kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think that's something that causes a lot of us to not be able to fight the way that we should be able to, because we can't make contact with other people because we're ashamed to actually use our voice and say, "Hey, I was wrong." Because people don't believe you. They really don't. They're like, nobody would do that to you unless you were guilty. Well, I'm here to tell you, they do that to you. They do it to people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
oh
And
yes.
I don't know how to be able to, reach the people that aren't vocalizing and sharing what has happened to them. Because until you start talking to people, well, until I started talking to For Public Safety on our first date, he was the first person that I'd told my story to, besides my parents.
Right.
And he actually sat down and listened. Well, we're still on our first date from starting that conversation, so he's definitely listened for a really long time. But I mean, I had sat there for 3 months and been silent, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to organize my court documents so that I could read them and understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And he helped me get everything organized, and he helped make them listen whenever they wouldn't. He went in and he was like, "You guys are going to listen to this girl because she's got stuff you need to hear. You're going to have to hear it because you're doing it wrong." But he has been, amazing in helping me and giving me the courage to have a voice.
It's
and not
awesome.
be afraid.
And I'm so glad that, we can help you get your voice out there about this, And as far as, going back to the steps that you learned to take over this time, you know, for people out there, was it a lawyer that got you appealed? Did you find out your own evidence and turn it in? You know, how did you do that so that people will know which direction they need to be looking in?
Well, what happened with the attorney is whenever you are put into court and you have a CHINS education against you, you can be appointed an attorney, which is a state paid attorney. Well, the attorney that I had did not fight for me. She did not listen to anything. She did not look at my evidence. So finally, I just had to force her to put in an appeal. And by the grace of God, I was lucky enough that she actually did do this one job right. That's the one thing that she did do right, is she put the appeal in. But I had to hound her about it forever. So she put that in, and where she was state appointed, and it was a CHINS case, I was able to get an appeal attorney that wasn't too terribly expensive, because I didn't want to really go with somebody that the state was paying for again. But the attorney that I got was absolutely amazing. And all she did is she pulled the transcripts from the hearing. And just from that little bit of information, not even any evidence from me, because whenever you do an appeal, the only evidence that they are allowed to use for that appeal is the evidence that was presented, during what you're appealing. So I was appealing them determining that my children were CHINS cases. And DCS hadn't even turned in any evidence to the courts. They hadn't turned in any evidence to the judge. They were still going on hearsay when, they declared that my children were, in fact, children in need of services. So they made that decision based on still hearsay, still not seeing or hearing anything that I had to say. So my attorney didn't fight for me. She didn't stand up. My appeal attorney went in and got it done with the limited amount of information that she had. But it plainly showed that DCS had no proof whatsoever to be taking my children. Actually, if you want to, do you have the appeal?
Yes, Road Dog.
Yep, I'm getting it pulled up as we speak.
And I know that you guys
You guys
probably
were going to cast for it.
it's a lengthy document.
And if you guys need a break, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
I might
She
take
might, yeah.
after this, like after
Okay.
Okay.
we do this.
All right. We'll do that. We'll do an intermission after Road Dog brings this document up and you
Okay.
talk about it for a minute, and then we'll take an
Yeah,
intermission. Okay.
give them time to get calm, smoke cigarettes, and I know it's intermission will be a little early, but everybody, bear with us. This is so hard for these ladies. I've not been through it, but 2 of my children are going through it with their children. So I'm also learning as the grandmother of, how to how to guide my children, So it's not, like I said, it's across the board. It's grandparents, it's grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers,
Mhm.
daughters, mothers, sons. It's everybody that needs to learn all of this.
You're right, and hopefully we will all get there together.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
If you look on there, I know we're not going to have time to go through all of this.
You take all the time you need, hon.
Right there, that shows you my appeal number that was up there at the top. Can we go back to that for a second? That way people can pull this up and read it later if they want to. It's a public record. Anyone can access this. And this is actually a pretty awesome document to go off of. even though my appeal was unfortunately unpublished because I didn't know how to go through the process and steps of making it published, there is still a lot of cases in here that can be referenced. And that is helpful if you're trying to do this on your own. If you don't have an attorney and, you know, you don't trust the state appointed attorneys, or if you just want to get that knowledge and, you know, learn some of it, but it's right there. It is the Court of Appeals case number. That's going to be the 20A-JC-1379. But if you'll scroll down through there, I don't know exactly where it's at, because I know this is just the PDF that you pulled up. Yes, that's right there. But somewhere down through here, it's going to show you. I think that it's towards maybe the bottom of the third page. But this. Oh, that's another thing. The way that they worded stuff in here, and I mean, if you go through and look it up, you'll be able to see it. It's ridiculous. But along through here, it will tell you that DCS had no evidence to support their fact findings.
Okay, now for people that are watching, one of the accusations is a fight. And my understanding is one of the parties that was supposed to be involved in this fight wasn't even on the property at the time.
Well, what it has him listed as is, you know, still living with me. And, you know, that was the boyfriend that I had separated from. And they had came into my home. And
Take your time.
You're fine, hon. You're fine.
they did not like, you know, me taking a stand for what I believed in and choosing the path that I'd chosen as far as, you know, separating. So it was my ex's girlfriend who was sent there to physically attack me.
Dang.
In a retaliation move. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, let's take a break right here. Let's go ahead and do intermission so that people can get composed and do a little thinking and soul searching, and we will be back after the intermission. Give some time, people.
You're doing good, hon.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Go smoke you a cigarette and
Yeah, take a
we'll
break.
be back. Road toe.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night, got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, hear them scream, okay, this a dream. And I pray as a team, one day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. others as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice that I'm in motion. There is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it up, you got one life to ball. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it on. Need a handout, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it by the grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drag the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they drag the chains, you can say no, free me.
All right, so we're back. No, AJ and Tiff are not back yet, Heather. So I'm sure they will be here in a few minutes, within a couple minutes.
Now.
Oh, there's Tiffany. Yeah, AJ said she was going to be a couple minutes. So, but we can keep going. She said she can keep going if we need to.
Okay.
There's Tiffany. Hey, girl.
Hey, feel better after a cigarette. I got
Yeah.
some Coke too. So
I know the feeling. And while I was outside, I was scrolling back through, and you will not believe the support you're getting. I'll bring up just one of the comments. Utah Cop Watch wants to say that you ladies are so brave.
Thank you.
I was trying to keep up on them, Heather. I was trying to pin them as they came. I was trying to keep up.
This is
And-
definitely not an easy thing to talk about. It's not an easy thing to go through.
Oh no, for sure.
It's traumatizing. It's nothing short of traumatizing. Anytime that
Yeah.
you're involved and even potentially maybe losing your children, it's traumatizing. But when you do, it's even worse.
Right. Well, it's never happened to me, and it's never even been on the bubble when my kids were coming up. But I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin if it happened to me. Like I would probably go crazy and probably do something I don't want. I would regret. Probably put me in prison.
The only thing
Yes.
that kept me, functioning on a somewhat normal level is, fighting for my babies. I needed to get them back home and I needed to get them safe. But,
Yeah.
I had a couple of things that kept me going, but it was mostly them.
Well, I see you got with meeting Chris a little bit, knowing him. You got some good support behind you with him, I'm sure.
Yes. And with you guys as well now. I mean, having you guys with us, or us like being a part of you guys, is amazing. Just knowing that we have the support that we've always needed in both of the cases. It's helped more than you guys will ever know.
Well,
We're all always here. And it's like Mark Wilson just said, our babies are everything. His child is his life.
Yes.
And I know in your case, that's what keeps you going, is the knowledge that you will have them back. I mean, you're at visitation level now. You just had one for the weekend.
Getting them
So you're
weekend.
getting there. You're getting there. Just
Yeah.
remember that. You're getting there. But I hate to, but to get back to the story, your ex's daughter came and started a fight with you to help their case along, so to speak. And some false allegations were brought again.
Yes. Whenever she came into the house, like I said, my children weren't there. Theirs were, but mine weren't. And what ultimately ended up happening is an argument that turned into me being pinned up against the wall. And his daughter had me pinned up against the wall, and he was behind his daughter, helping her, hold me back while I was being attacked. And at that point, I'm not a physical person. I don't like physical altercations, and I didn't really know how to get myself out of that situation. So I just went limp. That's all I could do, is I just went limp, and I fell straight down to the floor. And when I did, I was able to scurry around then, and I grabbed a knife, and I didn't do anything with it. I didn't hurt anybody. I never even touched anybody, but just them seeing that I had something to keep them off of me.
And remind everybody, you're in your own home defending yourself against intruders, basically, because he had already been kicked out of the home. And
Yes.
she did not live there to begin with. So you were defending yourself no matter how anybody looks at it.
Yes. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to defend yourself in your home. You have the right to stand up for what you believe in. And, I did. And I never hurt anybody. I never touched anyone. But they threw that up a lot as far as, me being a perpetrator of domestic abuse. They said that I was domestically abusing my ex, and, that everything was my fault. It didn't matter what led up to it. It didn't matter who was there. None of it mattered. And
And I know we all always, get on the cops. Do your investigation. Do your investigation. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how nobody ever even talked to you and got your side and got any proof.
no, and I would have called for help that night myself, but I was restricted from, having my cell phone. I could not get to my cell phone so that I could call for help. But I was not being attacked anymore, so it was kind of like, choose your battles, I guess. Like, as long as I'm not being beaten up, it was probably my best option to not kind of, make it worse for myself, because I didn't have any way to get a hold of anybody. I didn't have any way to have somebody come help me. So I did the best that I can, or did the best that I could with that situation. And at that time, as long as they were leaving me alone.
See, and it's like someone put in chat a while ago. The fear and the situation and the fear and not knowing is what causes people to relinquish their rights, not know not to sign, not know to, as you said, over explain,
Yeah.
because you're scared. You need to get your story out. You want to get your side out, not knowing that every breath you take, every side eye, every eye roll is going to be used against you. A lot of people don't know to say, I want my attorney. And then, as the Pop Brothers say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And
You-
that's
And as
exactly.
a mother, that's your baby. You're going to defend. You're going to, no, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And you need to talk to so and so, so and so, and so.
Yeah.
But, they don't understand that CPS and the police, they don't care to hear from you. They'll listen to your lawyer if you got a good one.
If you can get them to actually speak up for you.
Yeah.
That was one of my huge walls that I was hitting, is no one was listening. No one. And I still to this day do not understand how no one could listen to me. It's like I just wasn't screaming loud enough. But
You fell through the cracks, and there are so many people that do fall through the cracks because they don't know the avenues to take.
you're right.
They don't know that they can go to the local college and look at the law books. You don't have to check them out, but you sure can Xerox them.
Yeah. And it's even as simple as starting off where I started whenever I decided to start learning everything to make sure that nobody continued to do this. Is I was looking up stuff online and I was reading everything, and I was taking in way too much information at one time, but I was able to make it through it. But there's all kinds of different avenues that people can, go down to get the information that they need. But it's not really something that you think about at the time.
Yeah. In my case, once I made a stand, and expressed that I know my rights and everything, they flat out ignored me for over 2 months, did not want to talk to me, did not want to deal with me, nothing. So, on one hand, it was like, I finally stand up for myself, and express that I know my rights, what you're doing is wrong. And they just ghosted me, which is just as bad if you ask me, because I'm not getting any answers at all. There's no communication. So my head is just, in circles, like thinking worst case scenario, thinking, okay, what are they building on me now? Just craziness.
Right. And this agency does do that a lot. More than people realize. We actually had an incident where we needed to reach back out to DCS recently. And, it was over a domestic that had happened in his father's home. And once DCS seen the names, they screened out the call for my son. They didn't investigate. They didn't go look at anything. No questions asked, nothing. They didn't even investigate whatsoever. They just completely screened out the call and offered no help, did not let us use our services that we pay for as taxpayers. And that's another thing is once you do win something against them, they may not more than likely come after you again, but they're sure as hell not going to help you either. And that is very dangerous for your children whenever you have a limited amount of resources to go in there and have people be able to, immediately intervene and help your children. So that's another problem with what we're facing. And it just seems to continue. It's always something. There's always something that stands in your way and prevents you from getting the services done the way they're supposed to be done.
And that pisses me off because it doesn't matter if you've won against them. It's their duty.
Right.
It's their job. I mean, even if he, how do I put it? Even if they don't like you, even
Right.
if they know you on a personal level, it's still their job.
Exactly. That's what they signed up to do is to protect children. And whenever you don't do what you took a job to do, why the hell are you even there? Like, what do we need you for? If you're only going to cause damages and not go in when you're really, really, truly needed, go the fuck away. But
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've
But-
always been that mother who protects her children to the best of my ability. But every relationship that I've had previously, ex-husband, my son's father, and then my other ex, as soon as I realized that I had gotten myself in a toxic relationship and then yet again in another one, I took immediate steps, and I was getting me and my children out of the last one. It wasn't completely done, but it was almost done. And then the others, I stopped them immediately and did what I needed to do to get my children away from that situation and safe and healthy. That's always been my number one priority, as it should be when you're a parent. But I don't want to really say that I fell short. I just kind of
No.
got screwed.
You did everything in your power that you were knowledgeable to do at that time. Looking back, everybody knows hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
If I knew then what I knew now, we can't keep looking back and living that way. You can only, I'm going to keep learning from this point forward, and it's not going to happen again, and I'm going to help others.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at right now. This is the first time that, I've been public as far as telling my side of the story. So that's the reason it's so difficult for me. I've told individuals and small, tiny little chat groups. But as far as, being visual and being vocal and being by myself without, my partner with me, this is a huge obstacle that everyone's seeing me make myself work through, because I want to get this out there so that, people can learn from it, and maybe it'll help families and keep children safe. And that's what my goal is, I want everything done the way it's supposed to be. I want everything done right. And I definitely, for fuck's sake, want people to start being accountable. We have to have accountability, because if not, then it's going to keep happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you someone that I think we might can get y'all in contact with, as well as Broken System, Broken Trust. He's very knowledgeable in the child care system. He's going
Okay.
through something really, really similar. So I would like for y'all to get with him as well. He is actually taking law courses, so he may be able to help you. But with the case appealed and everything that's going on, that brings us up to where, Chris's involvement and everything that's happened to him is now affecting you as well.
Uh,
I'm hoping that what's going on with that isn't affecting your case and getting your children.
Well, it has been turned in that direction in one of the custody cases. It was actually submitted by my son's father's attorney into court. And I should have maybe figured out a way to get you guys this. But what his attorney submitted into court is that we were in a completely different town in a trap house, and that we were tear gassed and, apprehended by law enforcement. And that even though he was still allowing me to have visitation with, my son, it was being investigated. And that's kind of where the judge was left off at, because they put that in along with a motion for a continuance. That way they could get that story over to the judge. And at that time, I didn't have an attorney yet. I didn't have anyone to, be able to agree to the motion for the continuance and be like, no, that's lies. That's not the situation. That's not what happened. So yeah, it's going to have to be handled when we do go back to court, definitely. But yeah, it's found its way into the child custody cases. So that's even more
for you. It's because one technically doesn't have anything to do with the other.
It may have, some similar players. I'm not for sure how far Chris has went as far as, naming people on that side, but there are, to the best of our knowledge, I'll say, because I don't know exactly how to word it, there are a couple of similar players in the custody and the SWAT raid. So hopefully there'll be some light shined on that, and everyone who had a hand to do in the lies can be held accountable. I'm ready to see some people, face that accountability. It's about damn time for it to happen.
Yeah, and and I'm a firm believer in karma. And I know a little bit about toward the end of the case, and so I can honestly say karma's a bitch, and she's going to bite some people in the ass.
I hope she does.
And in AJ's case too, karma's going to bite people in the ass when AJ's done, because she's learning her rights, and she's learning the avenues to go as well, and having people like you support her,
Absolutely.
Go ahead and tell
We
them.
all need that support.
Your
Yeah.
caseworkers
Go
are
ahead.
right. Go ahead and tell them. Yeah, I've already added it.
Okay.
You can even say it was Frank Floyd.
I just didn't even realize,
Yeah,
How
go ahead
far?
and tell them that was your caseworkers that were using drugs in front of a judge named Weber.
Okay.
And Weber's the one that sent the raid.
Okay. Well, Chris just sort of popped his head in here and he let me know, that I could let you guys know that it was my last caseworker that I had that shared that information along as far as, what was going on in the DCS cases. And most specifically, it was the allegations of drug abuse. That information was passed along during, the meeting with the judges. He went in and he talked to them. He told them, that there was failed drug tests, which was a lie. And for me, he said that there were more than, one failed drug test, which was yet again a lie. So the judge one of the judges that he spoke in front of was Judge Weber. And Judge Weber is the judge that signed off on our SWAT raid warrant.
Fuck you, Judge Weber.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck you, Judge Weber. I hope you're listening, you jackass.
So yeah,
So wait a minute. Judge Weber is on your child custody case, correct?
Yes.
But yet he signed a criminal warrant in a different judicial capacity.
Yes.
That's a conflict of interest since your case was in front of him.
Exactly. And, one of these days we will get somebody to acknowledge that huge point. But yeah, that's huge as far as how everything played out and how everything went from jumping from the chins to custody to, the whole SWAT raid.
Sounds like someone needs to get in contact with the Bar Association and have a judicial review on Judge Weber.
Yes.
All these cases be looked at.
I recently just started submitting attorneys into the bar. And, I'm working my way up to the judges. And it's going to be more than just one judge that is going to be submitted. But it takes a little bit of time. I've got to make sure that I have all of my evidence, because you have to send in all of your evidence that you have. And you have to, word things appropriately. So between, work and trying to get out there and get stuff done, it takes just a little bit longer than what I would be happy with, or what I am happy with.
I'm being told it needs to be a complaint to the judicial board.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
So we're doing the attorneys with the bar and then the judges with the judicial.
Good. I'm glad that you're at that point now, that you're starting to make the complaints, and hopefully they'll be looked at, because I know a couple of people in Indiana, especially up around South Bend area, that I've been talking to, and it's not just y'all.
No.
It's all over. And from the people I've been talking to, Indiana's really, really dirty when it comes to child services.
Yep, it's just like you hear me say in one of For Public Safety's videos, state of Indiana, you suck. I mean, get your shit together already. I know that this is a national thing, but I'm experiencing it in this state, and this state is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The Good Old Boy Network, the corruption, the bullshit, it's ridiculous. And I never would have even imagined that something like this was going on in a state that I'd grown up in my entire life. But it's happening in every state. And some are worse than this one, actually. From
When,
what
CPS, DCS, whatever it's called in your state, they are there for a reason, and I'll give them credit where credit is due, as far as, where they actually do their job and save a child. But
Yeah.
when they lump everyone together without doing an investigation, just because they see the darker side of parenting, doesn't mean every call has a dirty parent.
Right. And out of the people that I have spoken to in this state, I'm finding that it's not only, DCS taking wrong action, but it's also them not actually taking action on children that need help.
Exactly.
They're not getting in there and doing it. It's like they're just taking the children from families that are actually the middle class families that can't just go out and jump on an attorney and can't fall in that bracket to automatically have one paid for. That's in my research. That has been the statistical as far as who they're targeting, and they're not helping the kids that really need the help. And that's kind of why I'm also, investigating the whole financial situation of, how much DCS gets for children in need of services and for placing a child in foster care. How much does that one individual child bring into that agency specifically in monetary gain?
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. And if it's a medical needs child, it's even more.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going through that as well. And
It's crazy.
that brings us, that brings us up to the call. They tried to say it was for a motorcycle, but then they also brought y'all in as a narcotics raid.
Yes.
So, and we've heard his side and everything that happened. So let's catch up to what happened on your side during the raid. We know where he was and what was going on, and what happened when he answered the door. Tell us where you were during all of this and what made you grab your phone to begin with, and what they did to you, and then we'll bring up the picture of you after the ER, after your boyfriend had to take you to the emergency room and not the damn ambulance.
Yeah. Well, actually, the sad thing is that I could actually probably thank my previous trauma as to why I grabbed my phone. I hold that thing near and dear to me now because I need to have it at all times. And it's turned into my life source for the fact that I didn't have it the last time that I really needed it. So I had it right there. And, I was getting ready to call for emergency services until I realized that it was the fucking emergency services that was busting in our damn door. And then I was like, record. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't understand why the fuck they were coming into our home like this. So I'm grateful that I did hit that record button, because I think that recording is going to be huge. It's like the case, because it's everything. It has so much on there. And I'm glad that we have it. It may not be good as far as, a visual all the time, but you have perfect audio through the whole thing.
True, very true. And I'll tell you, after, because I've actually watched that a couple of times, and the scream that you let out just raises the chills on my arms every time I hear it. And what I'm not understanding is why they put their hands on you to begin with. Was it for the simple fact that you were recording what was going on?
I believe it was because
They want you to walk them through what it was like for you.
Because whenever I was approached, that's what he was approaching me for, because I already had officers with me, detaining me. But that's what he was set out to do. But basically, whenever we heard the loud bang at the door, and I realized that it was the cops, and it is at the time that I hit the record button, I was filled with so much fear that I did not know exactly what to do. And I was so embarrassed for Chris to even, show that to people. I was like, that is just, I have no composure. I am completely terrified. And, he was showing some people, and I was like, you're putting my vulnerability all out there. But I mean,
It only gives you strength in the end. I know during the moment, you feel so vulnerable, but especially when you have a good platform like you do right now, that I do know it will give you the strength. It gives you strength in return, showing your vulnerability.
yeah, it's difficult. And I mean, I'm doing it right now because,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about the whole, like what I said, how I'll just skip over stuff and sometimes that I won't make sense. I just did it right now because I've talked about the whole DCS thing quite a bit more than I have this. This has really been Chris's baby that he's talked about a lot, and I've been able to really stay in the backlight of it. But I didn't even tell you guys about whenever they shot the gun, and the terror that I felt whenever I didn't know if Chris was going to be shot, or what happened exactly. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And even after it was done, and my senses started coming back, I still just could not wrap my head around why there were so many cops in our home just over alleged stolen stuff that had been left to Chris by his uncle. I mean, it wasn't even stolen. For the love of God, he had a right to have it. He lawfully had a right to have it. It was his. And
Yeah, he had already presented the paperwork with the will and everything before this happened.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
And the reason that we had you come in and talk more about the DCS and everything is because that's your side of this story. I mean, y'all come together and there's a conclusion for the two of y'all together, but you started on a separate way, he started on a separate way, and it's brought y'all together, which is where the raid comes in and the motorcycle and everything. And I want to applaud you and thank you so much for coming up and having the courage to speak and tell your side and out DCS and the judges and everything that you've gone through, because we needed to hear your side. And as far as you not wanting that video to be shown and your vulnerability to be seen, we need to hear that emotion. We need to, just telling somebody, yeah, this happened, when you've got it on video and you hear what's going on and you hear the words of the cops and you hear what you're going through.
Some people have to feel it, like some people have to see it to
Exactly.
believe it. Some people have to feel it, and watching that video, hearing it definitely can resonate with some people.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's the reason why I worked myself through the process of allowing Chris to use that in his intro. The video clip that you guys see and what you hear is really me. Like, it hasn't been altered, it hasn't been edited, it hasn't been cut, except for just squeezing it into that. And
Well, with your permission, we would like to play it. I mean, of course, if you're okay, only if you're okay with it. So
absolutely, I'm getting more used to it now because I hear it all the time now.
Yeah.
But it's still not easy.
Well,
Okay, are you wanting the picture or are you wanting the video of the raid?
Let's show the video if you have that pulled up, and then afterwards.
I don't, but I will. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, while that's going on, go ahead and pull up the picture then while you're looking for that. And we'll explain to everybody, what they're seeing. Okay, this, from what I understand, this is you the next day, or not long afterwards, after Chris had taken you to the ER. They had actually broke your back in the video that we're about to watch, correct?
Yes. I had the break, and then I had a torn rotator cuff as well from where my arm was jerked so hard.
And they kept you there for how many hours afterward before you were allowed to leave the property to go get medical attention?
4.5.
So the police kept you there with a broken back and a torn rotator cuff
For
from
4.5
damage.
hours.
They calls to you without calling for medical aid or anything like that, and a family member had to take you to medical aid.
Yes, we've requested, an EMT so many times, and they kept putting us off and acting like it wasn't any big deal. So yeah, I sat here in agony for 4.5 hours before we were able to even leave our home.
And how long were you in that brace, hon?
Oh,
Because you're
A
still in
lifetime,
physical
I'm sure it
therapy,
felt
aren't
like.
you?
it did, and I'm sorry, but I don't know a specific time because it transitioned from having to wear it all the time to certain way I could work on strengthening my back muscles back up, because they had to keep it so tight to make sure that everything healed the way it was supposed to, that I lost so much muscle tone in my back. And that's one of the things that I'm going to the physical therapy for. But I don't know exactly. I know it seemed like forever, and the whole process still seems like forever. Like, I just want to be able to function on a normal level. I want to not have to hurt.
Well, the raid happened when? I know it wasn't too long ago.
It was October. It was right before October.
So about 5 months ago,
Well, it's actually a year, and probably a year and 5 months ago now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking this past October.
No.
Oh, okay. So it
yeah.
was in 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
October
Like I say,
2020, and you're still going through physical therapy
yes.
for
Yeah.
this. People don't realize, when you go through something like a break in your back or a torn rotator cuff, it takes a year to 2 years to, come out of it.
It does.
And if you're ready, he has it pulled up. If you're willing, if you think you can sit through the short, we have the short clip. We don't have the whole video. We've got the short clip.
Okay.
And I want to warn our audience that
Discretion.
yeah, watch at your own discretion, because your
Yeah.
blood will boil when you see this.
I'm coming! Wait! So many cops here. Nobody else my baby, my puppy, and my suitcase.
And that long, drawn out scream that we hear is when he broke your back, right?
Yes.
That was you screaming out in agony.
Yes, it was.
And they were
I'm
out.
so sorry.
And
I'm
they
so
were
sorry you had to go through that. Oh,
Thank you.
and they were beating for public safety at the same time outside.
Yes.
He was jumped by several cops outside.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that he talks about sometimes is, the way he was going through his own ordeal, and he could not be there to protect me and keep me safe. It's
there's nothing anybody can really say other than I'm glad y'all came through it.
I'm we're blessed to still be here.
You can
That
call
crew,
yourself survivors of police brutality.
we are. It's crazy to actually think of it like that, but we are, because it could have went so much differently.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, the adrenaline high that the cops are on, which starts before they even get to your property, and then, dragging him out and somebody punching him in the face because whatever fucking reason, without, even knowing what was going on and dragging you through the house and breaking your back. It's unimaginable what you two went through.
It was it. I can't even describe it. I've tried. I've tried a couple of times, but it's so hard to put your emotions that you're feeling into actual words so that people understand. It's just a mixture of everything, mostly fear and confusion, and then you end up, in my case and Chris's, pain. But it's so hard to work through it, and it's so hard to vocalize it so that you can try to explain what you were feeling. But that whole event traumatized me so bad that what I'm about to tell you lasted for minimum of 2 weeks. I could not leave Chris's side. He could not leave me. He couldn't go to work. I could not stay in this house by myself. He couldn't go downstairs to do laundry. Taking a shower was difficult. Need to make sure that you're close to that door in case somebody decides to try to beat it in again. It's just so many things that you have to deal with after the initial feelings that you're feeling. You have to process, that it's not necessarily going to happen again. It's okay to take longer than a 5-minute shower, and you can wash your hair. It's okay to wash your hair. You'll be safe, but
Have y'all looked into have y'all looked into seeing a therapist for the PTSD that has been caused to y'all?
I have actually started seeing someone because I'm still suffering from nightmares and I still have triggers. If I hear our pup bark, Diesel, it triggers me, so I can't stand to hear him bark at anything. And so many different things that trigger me. I go into full out panic mode if Chris accidentally forgets to lock the front door, because that's, in my mind, that's a little bit of an extra deterrent, to keep people from being right in your home, right in your privacy. But there's just so many things. But yeah, I'm finally seeing someone, and it's about being able to talk about it. You have to be able to talk about it, not be ashamed of it, not worry about judgment before you can reach out for help. And that's what I've had to deal with a lot. I mean, I had the first shame with DCS, and then I had this shame because, who gets their kids taken from them and then has SWAT bust in their fucking door? Like nobody that I know of. So it's been a whole nother process, reaching out and getting the things that I need to get better and, learn to cope with the emotional and the stressors that have persisted with that experience.
Yeah, and even during the show when we've talked with Chris and we've lost internet connection with y'all, he even said that it comes back to him as well, because that was one of the first things y'all noticed, the dog barking, then the internet went out and everything. So I commend y'all for coming so far together, because this would have broke anybody else apart, I'm glad that y'all have each other to lean on.
Me too. Thank you. We were actually just laughing about that the other day, as best as we can laugh about anything. I said, well, it looks like we're stuck with each other, honey. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, you listened to me when I was talking to you about DCS, and we're working our way through that together. I said, we survived a SWAT raid together. I said, and then, COVID, of course, we did the whole seclusion thing together, and, we didn't kill each other. I was like, so, I think we're set. We just need to get everything else ironed out in our lives and get everything back on track.
Forget love. If you still like each other after that, I mean, you can love somebody till you die, but if you don't like them no more, if y'all still like each other, you got it going on.
Mhm.
I always say that, our meeting was a God thing. That they had a
Absolutely.
bigger plan for us being combined than separated. So
It sounds like y'all were putting each other's lives at the right time, because y'all gonna need each other through hell or high water, as they say.
yes.
And I know that y'all got it straightened out, and I know the motorcycle's gone and all of that, and y'all aren't worried about that. But please tell me that y'all have started proceedings to get back at some of these fuckers.
We have turned over several of the cases to our attorney, and it seems like there's only, just 2 cases cut and dry. But whenever you go into it and you break it down, there are several, cases, the 2 big ones and then smaller ones that are branching off from that.
Mm-hmm.
But so far we've gotten several of them, to him, and, caught his interest with them, and he's wanting to take them.
Good. So you've got someone in the legal field that is backing y'all and willing to help.
Yes, for the most part. I still need to get somebody hardcore on the DCS case. We have like the smaller branches of it covered, but not.
And I'm seeing for public safety has popped up. Yes, and our channel is payback too.
Yes. Yes. I do enjoy those rare moments where I can, throw out a little bit of a bashing, a name bashing. But
well, Chris told us about you going and getting paperwork in a back brace. Walking in and, back brace and all to go get your paperwork, which we found out had paperwork in it that you weren't technically supposed to get, which helped your case even further.
yes. I remember whenever we had decided that we were going to try to get these documents, Chris was kind of, a bit iffy about going in there. And it was my idea. I was like, well, I'll go in there. I'm in a back brace. What's going to happen? And I'm glad that I did, because, I came out with a stack of papers. I was so proud of myself. I was like, look what I did. And then, we find the papers that were not supposed to be given to us, because I don't think that they expected us to be in there that quickly.
Yeah, they didn't have time to redact. They didn't have time to hide the paperwork they didn't want y'all to see. It's a good thing you went in as quick as you did.
Yep.
And there's several messages popping up saying, always film the police, always audit your interactions, audit wherever you go. So, you keeping that phone with you at all times. If you're going to go get paperwork, film them bastards.
Absolutely. That has become our lifestyle. And, before we were, primarily doing audio and some video, but now, we've got it set up so that we can do video and we have audio and we have the GoPro. Like we have a backup for a backup for a backup, just to make sure that we are catching something in case something goes wrong.
And always go back and look, because in the heat of the moment, I've noticed, with a lot of, as a matter of fact, ATL auditor, I know y'all have spoken with, he
Yeah,
has caught a couple of lies that he was able to go back and bring to light and say, that's not what you said, and
absolutely.
that can only help you.
Absolutely. And,
And
it,
girl, let me commend you, because I saw a video. You get right up in their faces, and you stand your ground. You don't take no shit. You
I
have breaking your back gave you a backbone. Let's put it that way.
it did. It did. I am I'm a more, I don't push my limits, and I don't, invade anyone's space or go past boundaries. But at the same time, I'm after them. If I see that they're not doing their job, I'm making sure that I'm getting that recorded, and I'm making sure, that I'm pointing out what they're doing wrong. And at the same time, I'm also pointing out the good stuff that we come across. It's kind of like in For Public Safety's video. I don't know if he published it or not, like this part of it, but I'm talking to that officer, and I was like, I would like to have a positive highlight for Clark County. I was like,
Yes.
do
Yes.
something right, just one thing. That way we can give you a little bit of a kudos. Just quit causing damages and accept what you did and start fixing it, because you're just making it worse. You're just digging the hole even deeper. Like, it's got to stop somewhere. It really, really does.
And from Top of Till's Cop Watch, he is saying they made you stronger. Never give up, madam. God bless you.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
And
they definitely created a little bit of a monster. I'm part of their creation. So
and I'm proud of you. I know AJ's proud of you.
Absolutely.
She's hanging in here, crying, the emotions, everything with you, and I am too. And I know the guys are back there. I've seen a couple of men in the chat going, okay, tier number 3,
Yeah.
tearjerker number 4. I mean, they're actually counting them. I mean, you've got so many backers, and I'm so proud of you. You can only get stronger from here. And
yeah.
I look forward to y'all coming back and giving us the conclusion of what's actually going on.
Oh, absolutely. We will make sure to keep you guys updated, and if we have any more interesting stuff happen, which we are talking about us, we'll let you guys know. But hopefully we're going to reach the end of this damn thing soon.
Oh, yeah, well, you've got all of our contact information. When y'all are ready, if you just, hey, I've got an update, just come let us know, and, we'll make sure to get the update up there, because y'all have the attention of a lot of people out there right now.
Those
It,
eyes are what's keeping us safe right now. I don't even want to imagine what kind of retaliation we could be experiencing for, doing what we're doing if we didn't have your all's support and we didn't have your all's eyes on us.
Congratulations, everybody.
Sorry.
Oh,
My bad. That was like such the wrong thing to have come out. My bad.
well, I'm being
I
informed
even
that
looked over at my computer. I was like, wait, did I forget to shut something off?
Yeah, no, something opened on me. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. A little bit of a laughing moment. I like
Right?
it.
Little breaker.
But AJ, I want to throw out there that I'm proud of you. You're sticking with it, and keep going. You just
you.
gotta always keep going. But you've got this. You've got this, and I'm right here too.
Awesome.
And then everybody else, we have so many people, and we have that love, we have that support. It's just like she was saying a while ago, we've got each other, so we're good.
And are you going to have? We've been dropping your link. Do you have an email on your about page on your YouTube?
I do not. I'm going to add one in, because I want to have that email open in case anyone would like to correspond with me, or if they have something they want to talk about, something they want to share. And, I always say that I'm not an attorney, but I will help people to the best of my ability.
Yeah, you just let them know what you did. Say, this is what
Yes.
worked for me. This is not legal advice. This is what worked for me. That
Absolutely.
way you've got your ass covered.
But
Okay, and on that note, I want everyone to sub to the links for official misconduct. Our guest tonight, show her love, go and sub, pay attention. She's got more videos coming, and this
And-
is an interesting story for everybody to get into.
And real quick, I kind of really I don't have a lot of stuff published, but you guys can see my eagerness in the videos if you are subscribed.
Oh, me and you, we're gonna get together. You're you're a firecracker. We're gonna have to
like
get together for
summer
sure.
plans. I am a
Yes.
completely different person when I'm out there auditing. It's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like it's night and day. And whenever I'm
Yeah.
out there, with government entities and I'm holding, trying to force accountability, I am completely different. I am more confident and more vocal.
Oh, I
And
see it in
great.
your video. Yeah.
And Chris is doing an amazing job too. Like, he's done even more research than me, and the stuff that he throws out there, I still learn from him on quite a bit of stuff. But he's doing a good job, and we are just working our way right up through the top of the chain of command, as high as we can possibly go. And it's kind of like I said during, the last show that we did with you guys, Southern Indiana, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm going to make it as far as I can. Actually, we are going to make it as far as we can.
There you go. There you
Right
go.
on. Right on.
But yeah, if you guys haven't already went to his, I would definitely encourage you to do it. Sometimes he throws.
Yeah, I was just
crazy
fixing to
clips
say they're dropping for public safety as well. So go and sub to both of them for public safety and official misconduct, guys, and keep up with their story. And I know that there's a lot more to come from y'all, and I look forward to it.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you all so much.
And prayers, good vibes, light those candles. Y'all need it, and we're here to back you. You're going. It's going to come out good for you, I believe.
And
We're praying for it.
It's the end of the show, Lady Love. What the heck? No, I'm
Yeah,
glad
right.
you came by.
Just showed up.
right, Lady Loves, you're a little late, buddy.
No, I
Better
appreciate
late
you
than
coming
never.
by. Yes, there you go.
Right. I just want to say, official misconduct, I appreciate you. I'm sorry for what happened to you. I had to stay muted this whole time because between you and AJ, you guys had a couple tears coming out of the big guy Toe for Life's eyes. You guys were great. I think you got your point across. I think everybody's seen it. It was a great show. I love you guys. We just know that the Road and Toe show and the Bamley, we got your back. And
We love you guys.
we stay strong, Bamley for life, y'all. And we all got your back. The Bamley's strong in here tonight. And Heather, I mean, you too. I mean, I know you're a grandmother and you're going through the same thing. So I love you guys, and I don't know what more to say. You guys knocked it out the park. You guys hit a home run with a grand slam, tied on a touchdown and a field goal all mixed together. You guys are fucking awesome. I love you guys. Road Dog, you got anything, brother?
Just that I am so sorry you guys are going through this. I keep going back to our phone call that we had, Chris and I, what was it, last night?
Yes.
And listening to you and your voice and your determination, I am like really impressed. I cannot wait to have you guys back on the show with updates. My heart goes out to you guys. You guys have gone through a lot. You guys are amazing people, and you're welcome back here anytime you want to come back.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody out there, definitely go over, subscribe to Official Misconduct, for public safety, American Justice of Texas, Heather Holt, the Road and Tow Show, everybody out there. I mean, the mods were out here dropping links. Like, I mean, I don't know if you were watching the chats, Tiffany, but the mods were just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. These mods work double, triple time, overtime. I love them
Thank you,
all.
guys.
They rock it out here, and of course we got Judd the mod god. So, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, Judd is the mod god. He's still dropping links. I mean, he's just dropping them. Boom, boom,
Killing
boom.
it.
And
You guys
don't
put
we
on a great
have?
show. Thanks, Chris, for keeping quiet, keeping yourself back there in the corner.
I personally,
You
I
did
think
so
Sheriff
well.
was duct taped in the closet.
He's
Yeah.
actually not even in the room. So
Oh, okay.
No, he's over in my chat.
Oh,
No, he's actually
you know that-
texting me.
Oh,
He's actually
great.
sitting here texting me.
Well,
he's texting him. He's
well,
in my
text him
chat.
back and say I thank him very much for staying quiet and letting Tiffany, and she rocked it. She didn't need no help. She got it together and she put it out here. So
She's awesome.
amazing panel.
I love you guys. I love everybody in the chats. I mean, we had a lot of chats.
Oh,
I
he
was-
just put in, "I'm in my room, bro."
I was trying
That
to
would be
keep
the
up.
closet.
I was trying to keep up on all the chats. We had a lot of people that were saying a lot of stuff. If I didn't get something that you wanted shown up here, up on pinned up, I'm sorry. I was trying to keep up with everybody. But we had some great people in here tonight talking great things. We had .com. He was dropping a lot of love out here for everybody. Resolution. He was putting his words of wisdom in on how to do things and what avenues to go down to get things done when it comes to cases and stuff. So, I mean, we had a lot of people in here that were trying to help. And I think that was a good thing. And that's what we're here for. We were just trying to help and get your story out there. So, on that, I mean,
Getting stories out there. Don't we have an announcement, Road Dogs?
we do. Me and Road Dogs is going to wait until the end, to the right before my little outro and all that. But we do have an announcement.
Drum
Special.
roll.
You guys want it? Hell with it. Heather done spilled the beans. Let's
No,
just tell
y'all
them.
put it up
Leave
on
it to
screen
Heather.
a while ago.
Leave it to Heather. All right. Road Dog, you want to go with it, man? Go ahead.
Well, we are going to be doing a giveaway. It's going to be here on the Road and Tow Show. As you guys know, I make coffee tumblers. I do laser engraving, stuff like that. We will be giving away a Road and Tow coffee tumbler. We're going to be doing a laser engraved cutting board, license plate, frame, as well as possibly a few other things. We're looking at possibly doing rolling trays, because I know there's a lot of them out there that partake. We will be possibly doing some of those. So we do have some upcoming things coming, and it'll be real soon. You might see it pop up.
Nice.
So you have to be a subscriber, and you got to be subscribed to the Road and Tow Show. So if you're a subscriber, and we'll be giving these things away real soon, probably about 3 or 4 giveaways, one per, maybe one per week, or I don't know, one per show. We haven't went over all the particulars yet, but we're going to do something like that. And it's partly sponsored by .com, our friend .com. So anybody out there, show.com, drop his links, Judd, if you could, .com. Show love to .com. It'll be partly sponsored by .com. So
I know I haven't seen a lot of stuff, but those tumblers are awesome. That's for sure.
Yeah, they are. Road Dog does a really good job on the tumblers. He just, I don't know, him and them tumblers, he gets better per one. I got, after I seen NC Tyrant Hunter's tumbler, I went, oh man. was like,
I
Mom,
did exactly what you said you wanted.
yeah, I know you did, but I didn't. When I seen NC Tire Hunters, I was like, man, that thing is badass.
Yeah, it is.
That's all right, Toe. I am making you a Road and Toe cup. This way you can have it in front of you while we do
And you
the
got
show.
a lot of those Road and Toe cups to make. You got some orders on them Road and Toe cups.
Yep,
AJ
I do.
and-
I have a feeling they're going to wait to see if they win one, though.
yeah, AJ and a couple other ones. They're waiting on
Hey.
they're waiting on their orders.
Little sister in the corner wants one over here.
Yep.
Oh, and for public safety, he's saying those mugs are awesome.
Yep.
And I will drop this out here real quick because these two people, or actually three people, are friends of the show. Anybody that don't know, go over and check out Lady Love FTP. If you guys got her link, can you drop it in the chats? Lady Love FTP. Her and American Justice of Texas do a show at 5:05 p.m. Eastern time. And it's a fluff show, and they fluff another friend of the show, Slow Burners panel that Slow Burner has every day at 5:30. So go over and show Slow Burner, Lady Love FTP, and American Justice some love on their panels, and that's during the day, 5:05 Eastern time for Lady Love and American Justice, and 5:30 for the Slow Burner. So check it out. Good shows. AJ, you got something?
No.
Oh, I thought I seen you look like you had a little, like you wanted
I
to
know
add
I'm having a
something.
moment, like I had a brain fart, but yeah.
If you want to add something.
No.
while you get a chance.
I'm just. They're on Eastern time, so I'm trying to get the time. I think she comes on at 6:30, so we're on
Yes.
an hour before. So.
Oh, is it 6:30 Eastern?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's
That's when
5:30
Slow Burner
Central.
comes in. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Slow Burner comes on at 6:30 Eastern. I'm
Yeah, 'cause
sorry,
we're
everybody.
an
6:30
hour.
Eastern.
We fluff for an hour before the show.
There you go.
And so the girls are over on Lady Love FTP. The girls are 5:30 Eastern, and then Slow Burner 6:30 Eastern, and on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you got Road and Toe you need to be at.
Right on.
Well, I'd
And-
like to throw in there that, I'm new to YouTube, and the whole fluff thing that you're talking about, at first it kind of sounded perverted. I was like, I was just over here smiling. I was like, okay.
It's kind of a joke. What they do is they promote it.
She knows what a fluffer is.
She gets it. I mean, she gets
Yeah,
it. So
It's kind of what a fluffer means sexually, but it's what they do for his show before his show.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I was over here. I
And,
wasn't-
and go check Lady Love out for sure, because that's my buddy.
Buddy.
I love it when she says that. She always says that, buddy. But anyways, I think it's time to play the outro since
Yes, sir.
So we covered everything. Yeah, we're gonna play the outro, and I'll be right back with y'all.
And I'm being told that Slow is live right now. So after the show, head on over.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, let me run the outro, and then I'll throw you guys in the basement, and then me and Road Dogg will do our thing, and then after we drop the stream, we'll pick you guys back up out the basement. All right, how's that sound?
Awesome.
I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
This shit I'm out, no thanks, don't mind me, I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me please, fuck this shit I'm out, nope. Fuck this shit I'm out, alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care, I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit I'm out.
Dump them, Road Dogg, dump them. Dump the
No,
girls.
I don't want to. They're too cute.
I know, right? I just want to stay up here all night with them.
There we go.
All right, y'all. Well, Thanks everybody for coming in. Everybody in the chats, you guys rocked it. From Heather Holt's channel, American Justice of Texas's channel, the Road and Toe channel, Toe for Life on Twitch. All you people in the chats, you guys are awesome. The fucking mods out there, you guys rock it. M-Star, Farlap, Big Man, which he wasn't in tonight, but Judd, who else am I forgetting? Bananer, Heather, all you guys. I mean, I got my list. It's around here somewhere. But you know who you are. You guys know I love you guys. You guys are great. You guys are the rock that holds this thing called the Road and Toe show together. And that's all there is to it. And I love you guys. I love everybody in the chats. I love everybody that was on panel. Again, shout out to Official Misconduct. That was awesome that she came up and shared her story. American Justice of Texas, Heather Holt, for talking with her all night and keeping her calm. And that was great. And I love you guys for that. And hey, that's it, man. I love everybody, man. And everybody knows it. You know, I have no hate for nobody. So
That's right.
there you go. Road Dog, it's on you, brother.
I just want to thank everybody for coming in. You guys are amazing. You're the reason why we do this. I want to thank the mods. Like Toe always says, you guys rock it. I mean, it amazes me on how you guys handle it. At times where we've got 7 or 8 rooms going, and it's like we got Heather and Judd. Now we've got more. That makes their job a little bit easier. But tonight Heather was up here, so she couldn't really do it. You guys were all over it. We really appreciate you guys. Look forward to the giveaway. We should be giving the announcement of the first thing here pretty soon. And you guys have an awesome evening. Back to you, Toe.
All right. And one last thing before I do my final outro, I want to give a big shout out to my man, Jody FJ. Just to let you know, Mr. Irrelevant, you are relevant in my eyes. I love you, man. And I'm not wearing pants, just to let you know, Jody. Love you, brother. And with that, this is the Road and Toe Show, episode 29. I am your host, motherfucking Toe for Life. This is my host, Road Dogs Media, and we are out this bitch. Toodles.
Later.